Great. I think I'm on, everyone. So, hi, welcome to City Church this afternoon. For those of you who don't know, my name is Matt, and I'm one of the leaders here at City Church. And actually, I've kind of pirated the interview for today to tell you about one of the events that's coming up in the church calendar that we are really, really excited about. And it's our City Church Manchester Weekend Away 2023, and if there was a big whoop button, I'd be pressing it because it's a big deal for us as a church. We haven't done a weekend away for a long time. We haven't been able to do it for COVID reasons, for all sorts of other things. But this year, something that has been a significant part of our calendar for such a long time, we're actually going again with. And it's happening from the 3rd to the 5th of March this year. And it's an opportunity for the whole of the church community to go away for one weekend for great Bible teaching, and secondly, to get to know each other really well, to build relationships, build friendships, and hear about and pray about the things that God has been doing through us and the things that we're really excited that God will be continuing to do through the life of the church over the rest of this year and the years to come. Which is why I wanted to speak to you. And I wanted to speak to you specifically because I wanted to invite you to come. You see, the City Church Weekend Away is an opportunity for people, whether they're here in the auditorium or whether they are like you guys watching online. Perhaps you couldn't get to be here this Sunday. Perhaps you can't ever get to be here very conveniently because you don't live in Manchester. Well, let me talk to you and say, hey, why don't you consider coming? Why don't you consider joining us for the City Church Weekend Away? We would love to meet you if you've never been at City Church. And it doesn't matter whether you've been at City Church for years or whether you've been never, perhaps in your case. But why don't you come to this? It's a great way to actually put some faces to names that you might have heard of. It's a great way to get to know the diversity and the breadth of the City Church community. And it's a really good way to feel integrated in the life of the church. If perhaps you're watching in some distant continent, it's great that you've been able to join us. Perhaps this could be a holiday for you where you come over to the UK and join us. We're going to a place called the Quinta Centre. And the Quinta Centre is an old English country mansion in the middle of the countryside on the border with Wales in a lovely county called Shropshire. It's a beautiful site. There's lots of space to roam, to walk. And there's going to be opportunity over the weekend to make the most of the site, whether it's playing sport, some people going for walks. I'm sure there'll be a whole group going to the local town to hunt out a coffee shop or something like that. But it's a beautiful part of the country. And we are so lucky to be able to have booked it for a whole weekend at the very beginning of March. Now, there's going to be a whole bunch of Bible teaching over the course of the time. You wouldn't expect anything less coming from a City Church event. And we've got a guy called Kevin Smith. He's the pastor of a church in Chattanooga in the US of A, who's coming all the way here to teach us from the book of Ephesians. He's going to be looking at chapters 1 to 3 about what it means for us to be a redeemed community, a community shaped by the gospel, and where the Lord Jesus Christ is the one who is leading the church. That is a message that we really need to hear here at City Church, particularly with all of the craziness that we've been through, all of the uncertainty ahead. And my guess is that is exactly what you need to hear as well, wherever you are. So why don't you come along and join us for that? I often say that actually the City Church Weekend Away is probably worth the equivalent of perhaps 6 months of relationship building compressed into one weekend. And so it's a really good way to get to know other people. Now, if you're not able to come, if you're not able to join us for that, won't you be praying for us? It's going to be a key weekend for us. Yes, of course, in meeting people and, of course, receiving teaching from Kevin from the book of Ephesians. But it's a key weekend for us because we're actually going to be sharing aspects of the City Church vision We're going to be reflecting on what God has been doing through the church since we planted in 2014. But we're going to be revealing some of the big thoughts, some of the big suggestions of where we might go as a church in the coming years, so that we might do the very best that we can to invite everyone to enjoy Christ for the glory of God here in Manchester, the Northwest, and beyond. And so if you can't be with us, that's a real sadness. But do be partnering with us in prayer. We would really value that, because there's so much going on for the weekend. There's the practical details and the logistics of it. Do pray that would all go well. We expect probably over 200 city churches to relocate to Shropshire that weekend. We've never had a weekend away that big, and it's going to be a significant deal for us as a church logistically to make that work. And so your prayers, just for the nuts and bolts of that, would be really, really helpful. Well, if you've been with us since we started in January, we're also trekking through a series on money. Ralph has given the first two talks, and I'm about to go on stage to give the final one on the subject of money and giving. I know some of you out there belong to other churches in different parts of the world, but you are friends of City Church. You partner with us financially. And I just wanted to say on behalf of the church, I just wanted to say a huge thank you. We couldn't run the ministries that we do. We couldn't have the extent of the reach evangelistically within the city that we do if it wasn't for you, for your support, for your encouragement. And I want to thank you for doing that, and thank you for your sacrifice. It's also an opportunity for me to say to you that perhaps you have been trekking with us for a while, perhaps you've been watching online, perhaps you've been exploring who we are. Well, maybe you're in the process of thinking maybe City Church is a place that you would like to financially contribute to as well. Well, can I encourage you that we would love that if you would like to do that. The easiest ways to give is to go to the City Church website. We've got a brand new website, by the way. Tessa and the team have done an awesome job. Go and check it out if you haven't seen it. But if you go to the City Church website, you can go to the menu, and there's a tab there for giving, and you can follow the instructions, and that's going to be the easiest place for you to financially give to the church. City Church has been so blessed by people, churches from right across the world, seeing the opportunity for the gospel here. And I want to thank you for being a friend of City Church and partnering with us. Well, that's all I'm going to say. We're about to start again for the second half of the service. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.